Is where we play host to Africa's finest, the premier women's basketball championship, to settle the debate on who are the queens of the court. It's Egypt taking on Angola in our second clash of day 2 of the AfroBasket, and we are coming to you live from Abidjan. Looking forward to a classic clash, as we've already seen one classic clash as Guinea went down to Uganda's Gazelles. Now it's Egypt and Angola who are taking center stage in Group A battle, and we'll have Rwanda and Mozambique, and we'll close out the evening with Cameroon taking on South Sudan. If we have a look at what the standings are, then it's Cote d'Ivoire who are at the top of their win. They will set to do battle now. Angola's first foray or first entry into the tournament. They'll be looking to start the right way, and what certainly lies before us is a fascinating encounter. Every fascinating encounter is going to have lots of color, and when we have the opportunity to try and break it down, I'm not alone. I'm joined by one of Africa's finest, and Asha Komakisha is alongside me.
Yeah, absolutely excited for this fixture. These two teams have already met 5 times at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket. Egypt, of course, coming alive in that last matchup in Kigali in 2023, but this is a whole different game. Both teams trying to go through a transition, bring new players on board, and while relying also on some of the old guards.
If you're trying to look at rankings, it's 37. That's where Egypt are ranked in the world. They qualified by the wild card, and when you look at where Angola, they are ranked 48th, seated 4th. This is the 21st edition that they've qualified for. I don't think any team has done more, and we are really going to be treated to teams that have matched up head-to-head, as you spoke about, Asha, traditionally providing us a superb contest, and you expect the same here on this stage in this competition.
Yeah, it's absolutely the continent's most prime competition. All the women that play the game of basketball in Africa want to play here. And for Egypt, they came through a wild card. Same applies to Angola, but all of that is behind the back. They're here. They're just trying to make sure that they get their first win in their first game here in Angola. Egypt trying to bounce back against Angola after that defeat to the home side, Cote d'Ivoire.
What you can say is that these are two countries that might host some of the finest clubs on the continent. When you think about the Inter Club, you think about Primero de Agosto, and on the other side, Sporting Alexandria, Al Ahly, Egypt. These are fine names, and they produce some fine players. We're going to take in the national anthems, and on the other side of that, we get ready for the competition. This is Group A in the AfroBasket and day 2. We have completed the anthems, and now it is time for the exchange of the gifts, the custom that has been adopted before any international competition, and also a custom that is a part of FIBA world, because these are nations that are about to do battle on the floor, and just a memory, a keepsake that allows the players to tap back in and recall the chance that they had to represent their country in this fine competition. When we look at the referees for this one, and they have Mikhail Manista, he's from Estonia. He's in the center of your screen. Didi Gaga from Rwanda on the right, and Silva Jacques Hongbeji, and he is out of the Benin one. And it's going to be a highly physical encounter. These are two proud basketballing nations, so they have a big responsibility. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the officials.
Yeah, just listening in, of course, to the national anthems. These are some of the most accomplished teams. You've had these national anthems for a while here in the basketball circles on the African continent, but there's so much basketball to look forward to here in this game, and the excitement can be felt in the way that the teams are warming up.
Anna Antonio inside the paint. This is her second appearance at an AfroBasket competition, plays for Interclub. She'll have a role to play. Italy Lucas is a household name as far as the continent is concerned, and we'll have a look at the starting five, Asher.
Italy Lucas, Isabel Fernando, Cristiano Correa, Alexia Di Zecco, and Cristina Matikit, who's been a very central player for Angola over the years, playing for the national team for at least a decade, and the coach Paulo Macedo, who will bring his experience here to the FIBA Women's AfroBasket.
Yeah, that is a lineup that Coach Paulo Macedo can work with. They definitely have a blend of youth and experience. And you talked a lot about Cristina Matikitin inside the paint. She did superb work in the qualifiers, 15-13. Those are the numbers that she had. And imagine that she's going to have her work cut out, because when you look at the starting five for Egypt, let's have a look at how it breaks down.
There is Alia El Shabri and Meral Abdegawad, who was very central for them yesterday. Farida Abdelnabi, Ranim Al-Gadawi, and Tamara Ibrahim. No changes to the starting five there for Julian Martinez. Of course, he'll be trying to make sure that today he doesn't get ejected from inside the Palais des Sports here in Abidjan.
That's his first mission, is to stay courtside to get his troops right and ready. I felt like there was a loss in momentum when they left the court, when Egypt and the Pharaoh Queens, they went down to Cote d'Ivoire, the hosts, yesterday evening. But it's a different day. We see what can happen, and the turnaround, the short turnaround time. But we know that inside the paint is going to be Ranim El-Gadawi with her 18 points, 14 rebounds. She was the focal point of the offense yesterday. Wonder how much more she can carry from an offensive load perspective. But I expect a little bit more production from her front
experience on the African continent, coaching in Mozambique, and that gives him an insight in terms of the way that Angola plays. The two countries have the same style of basketball, picked up, of course, from their history with the country of Portugal.
Yeah, they do shoot the ball well from the perimeter, high-placed transition. That's what we're going to be looking at. But a feature of this Egyptian style of plays, they play physical inside. We were treated to the way that El-Gadawi just really does go to work. She came in with a big reputation as a stalwart and a focal point on the offensive end. This is her fifth AfroBasket, and she showcased all of that skill. There's just as much experience on the other side. Italy Lucas, she's the floor leader, and the stalwart, the household name, played for Interclub in Angola, now out at APR, or played for APR in the FIBA Africa Women's Basketball League. She's well experienced, with WNBA experience as well, and they'll lean on her in this competition. Ball gets tapped back, and it's going to be Angola first. They don't pick up possession, they pick up the first turnover.
Yeah, Isabel Fernando thought that she had the ball in the right place, but stepped over the line, and Egypt will look to use that to their advantage.
An important start. Both teams, well, we saw what happens when a team that has played can look where there's El-Gadawi inside, that trusty left hand, and Ranim El-Gadawi off and running.
Yeah, second time that she scores the fast points here for Egypt in this tournament, just to get them going.
Pressure on Lucas, kicks there to the corner, shot. Well, was well lined up, and Fernando's shot goes astray. Rebound is controlled. Golome. Lucas. Pass picked off right into the path of Ibrahim. They have a 2-on-1 break. Nice use of the body. What great control as Abdel Gawad gets on the board as well.
Yeah, great transition there from Egypt just to stay locked in and get those first points. There's pressure on the ball here from Egypt.
Dzeko in. Dzeko. Good aggression. He puts her head down, attacks right at Ibrahim, draws her into the foul. Already, we've got a frenetic pace and tempo, as we've seen Egypt to just go straight into their full court press, and it forces the game to just pick up speed.
Yeah, you spoke about their physicality. Egypt, they like to express themselves like that, and you see that in the movement there with the two up against Dzeko.
Tamara Ibrahim, she was quite impressive in the opening encounter. She had 8 points in 32 minutes. We saw her ability to shoot the ball, the young 20-year-old come up through the ranks in the junior ranks in Egyptian basketball, played an under-19 World Cup. But this is going to be a different kind of game. There's going to be a different kind of defense shown. I do think the front court will be a factor.
Yeah, Dzeko getting the first point here for Angola, just to get them some confidence. She converts the second one as well. It's just how the jitters go away.
Ibrahim Abdel Gawad inside. Wow, what superb work. Just can't get the finish though. Shorts it on the layup. Lucas holds up and kicks across to Dzeko. Jab, drive in. Turn and kick. Fernando. Now nice ball movement for Angola. Last pass just comes off the hand, and it's Matikit that can't hold at all, and then it goes out of bounds. Frustration there on the face of the veteran.
Well, you can see that it helps that Egypt played their first game yesterday. They're sharp.
Well, the sharpness turns into a turnover. Lucas there will pull up for three. Lucas' shot rattles off. We've seen a couple of those in the opening encounter that look like they're on line and don't fall. Abdel Gawad.
Abdel Gawad is trying to try out new things there with the attempt. Doesn't drop.
Strong take again. Another missed layup. Now they try to push on the counter in transition, and they do. 2 points. Abdel now be captain on the board.
They're looking very good here. Egypt scored on 3 of their last 4 possessions.
This full court pressure really is starting to take a toll as the pace is increased. Lucas wide open, misses. Ibrahim, they are off to the races again. Pass back in. Ibrahim turns. Abdel Gawad, that trusty patented spin move at the top of the key is it's almost like a replay every time she does it, but she draws the foul.
Obviously, it looks like Angola watched that game between Cote d'Ivoire and Egypt. They know that every time Ranim El Gadawi gets the ball, she'll try to go to the paint, and they have 2 bodies on her just trying to stop her. For this time, they get a foul, but Egypt just look to continue putting pressure here on Angola.
El Gadawi, 28 years old now. Part of a team that picked up a championship in the FIBA African Women's Basketball League. Alahi lifting the crown, and she was a big part of that team. There she misses on the second attempt. At the Keat. Lucas, that ball tapped. Now it's into the path of the Egyptians, and alone. Oh my, blows the layup unbelievably. As you won't see too often.
Very uncharacteristic of El Gadawi.
And on the other side, it's the 2 missed points, and then the 2 dropped in from Alexia Dzeko.
It is back-to-back action here between these 2 teams. Every possession counts.
That was unbelievable as far as concentration lapse. El Gadawi kicks out to Ibrahim, the sharpshooter. That one rattles off. And that momentum, you can almost feel like it was deflating there on the miss from Ranim El Gadawi.
A bit of miscommunication there and the frustration from Matikit. But it is a full court press here now against Egypt, who've gotten 6 of their points in transition.
It's amazing how many times we've seen a counter press thrown once the press is put on by the Egyptians, and Coach Paul Makero just does the same thing here. There's a work as Matikit knocks that ball out of the hands of Al Gadawi. It's been more attack from Al Gadawi. We haven't seen Matikit put in a position to try and score just yet, but that is one of the critical and crucial matchups on the floor. Al Gadawi goes to her left and drops it in. Current gets right by the feet there of Matikit, who's frustrated, but the speed wins over the size in this one.
That is a veteran move, typical textbook defense there, obviously. But Raneem El Gadawi gets the 2 points and an opportunity to make it a 3-point play here for Egypt as they enjoy a 4-point lead early in this first quarter.
What a difference a day makes as far as Egypt are concerned. They look a little bit sharper. They're getting the finishes close in, and the ball drops in. Al Gadawi converts the 3-point play. Quickly up the other end, the shot won't go. Dzeko. Abdelgawad gets 2. This is a fast-paced transition game, Asher.
It is 3 players on the scoring board here for Egypt, but no surprises with El Gadawi and Abdelgawad taking the lead, just like we saw yesterday.
Matikit picks up the second chance opportunity to kick it back out. Fernando. Now with 3-point shot that will just come off the front iron as Correa has made her way on the floor. Ball pitched ahead, Correa into the paint. And that's probably why she's on the floor, able to get the move her feet, pick up the steal. Dzeko. Now they go inside to the veteran Matikit. Shot comes off the front iron. That one won't fall. A little bit of a good look in terms of offensive execution, but Paul Makero seen enough. He's taken 3 players right out of the game.
That seems to be working for Egypt. Look at the fans. They've come up on a Sunday afternoon to stake in all of the action here.
Peso is in, and Lucas still on the floor. Survives the mass substitutions. Right, Makero in. Beautiful drive, but then Noel Abdelgawad finds some space there. And did say before the game that she's probably going to try and pick up a play. Would have been disappointed with the 10 points that she put up against Cote d'Ivoire. Low percentage, low efficiency. That's not the style that she's known for.
Now looking at the replay there, Abdelgawad beating the Angolan defense there on the baseline, but there's a foul, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Well, she probably, if there was an award, would have picked it up for MVP of the qualifiers. Even though they picked up the wild card, she averages of 19.6 points, 9.8 rebounds. And this is her 4th AfroBasket. And they will lean on that experience, will have to lean on that experience as Egypt have now moved up to a 9-point lead. Full court pressure still. Drive and kick. Up it comes to Antonio. Lucas. Pull up there from the elbow. Lucas is short, and that's the 3rd time she's missed. Still can't find it, but then into the path of Antonio on the second chance. Short again. There's a lid on the rim right now for the Angolans. Offensive foul is called. Contact. Antonio went right in there. Angola will pick up their 4th foul. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. 6 minutes of play, they've only scored 5 minutes of play, they've only scored 4 points. Lucas out. Pharaoh Queens. Al-Shabrawi. Now the drive in, and wow, nice bit of reading there from Captain Farida Abdelnabi. Look of bewilderment is very visible on the face of the defender, Avelina Peso. She can't understand how the call was made, but that's team fouls now, 15 fouls. First shot goes off. Another member of the Al Ahly FIBA Africa World or Women's Basketball League that picked up the championship. Out goes captain. All pressure. Antonio. Seitano, who's just come in. Ball is turned over now, a chance for Al-Kadawi. Can't find the layup. The drive on the baseline, and there is a miss. And finally, there's going to be a chance here for Angola to try and see if they can get themselves on the board.
Well, when you see the way that Egypt are approaching this game, you can see that they are, of course, they know that Angola are one of the powerhouses of African basketball, but that fear factor doesn't scare them anymore. You see that in the way that they full court press them, even when they know that they have an edge of them over history. But Abdel Gawad looks like she's in some pain there. And the replay here, Ranim was able to go up the basket. And Peso with the contact there.
Yeah, that looked like a hard blow. And she's not looking too good, but hopefully she'll be able to return. She's a big part of this offense. That was a solid blow inside, and it gives us our first timeout.
Vai interceptar a bola. Simule o passe e corte atrás. Depois calma, pessoal. Qual é a pressa? Hã? Atenção, olha só, pessoal. Então se a bola está aqui. Porra, como é que nós temos uma jogadora? Tem que estar aqui. Uma tem que estar aqui, outra aqui. Essa jogadora está ali, não, tem que estar aqui, se penetra aqui, tem que sair.
Oye, só está dizendo. Agora, miúda, 10 minutos. 1, 2, 3. É minha,
It's been a solid start here for Egypt, needing to bounce back after they lost to Cote d'Ivoire, the hosts, yesterday evening. And this is the ideal start for Coach Julian Martinez and his troops.
He's just basically picking off of that energy that he had yesterday. It's different here without the Ivorian fans just screaming in their ears and behind them. But of course they come, they've had a couple of hours to get some rest, get some medical treatment in there, and just focus on getting that first victory. For Angola, they know that, yes, they were able to get a glimpse of what Egypt looks like, but they look like they're still on the bus.
Well, two important makes there from Peso, who's come in to provide, looks like some physical presence inside the paint, and the pass across Al-Shabrawi. It goes out. Last touch comes off here, and Angolan defender. Bakker feeds Al-Shabrawi. Can't find the layup. Again, nice work. They've missed 3 close range opportunities. It's got to be frustrating. Up under. Ball comes back out to Kuna. Caetano blows by everybody against the finish.
It's a beautiful finish there. It's the energy that she brings here to this Angolan side, and you can see what her presence means on the court.
First touch for Noran Ahmed, who I think is called for the travel. There's a visible left foot pivot shift, and the referee right there to pick it up.
Every call and possession matters here. It takes a little bit away from their rhythm here, the Egyptians, but Noran Ahmed just quickly recovering there on defense. She puts pressure on Cayetano.
Some great work again. This ball handling being displayed by the Angolans. Cayetano works around the screen from Antonio. Inside out, drive, drops it in, count the 2 points. And Angola, they're starting to find some ways to part the paint.
You can see the impact of the substitutions is already working. Antonio, Cayetano, both of them with continental experience, just being able to attack that Egyptian defense. Basket and good, and going to the free throw line.
Yeah, Antonio, that was a confident bucket. A lot of the Angolan teams, and I made mention of the club structure because a lot of these teams will pick up their players from the local clubs and they will adopt them into the national team setup. So Interclub has always featured prominently on the continent in terms of their presence in international competitions and ability to win. Primeiro de Agosto is an Angolan club that also is great at development, and you have a look here at Antonio because he plays for Interclub in local competition. Shot comes open and the miss. There is 2:55 left, and you talked about the difference, and what a difference the crowd does make. It put a lot of pressure on the Egyptians yesterday evening. It was definitely a factor in what we saw, and they're playing a lot better. Catch and shoot. And see the turnover, well, not turnovers. Abdel Nabi, captain, back on the floor. Ahmed. Radawi. Ibrahim showing some great footwork. Wow, what a superb finish. Fancy footwork there from Ibrahim. Drop off pass now, and there's Peso with the physicality inside, and there's a push and a pass, and off it comes.
Good energy there from the Egyptians. They know that for you to do well and shine on offense, you really have to cut it out on the defensive side. But Tamara Ibrahim just continuing to grow into the game, showing her experience and those fundamentals really of basketball.
That was a pretty move from Ibrahim. She can also knock it down from the exterior. Radawi. Captain driving on in, and Farida Abdelnabi's shot pushed up and over. Lucas's head has been off the floor. Ever since that change, I think the guard play from the Angolans has definitely been visible, the way they've pushed the ball and been able to attack that paint.
Ingi Badawi with that energy still on defense. It's called a foul, but it's that intensity that they would like to have in the way that they play here against Angola today.
Cayetano. The aggressive drive inside Pascual. Angola, they keep it alive. There's the foul call or travel call on the attempt there from Pascual, who plays frenetically. She's got a lot of energy on the floor. Trying to inject some of that into this offense. Ahmed. Radawi. Ahmed is covered, trying to drive inside. 4 seconds on the clock. Now the shot has got to come up. No. The last touch comes off the hands of an Angolan defender. They have 0.9 seconds to try and put a shot up.
There's a 6-point game here with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Angola just had a shock of a start, but they've managed to come back.
Ibrahim got that off in a flash. Wow, that was great awareness. Comes off, nothing. A shot is better than a turnover is what they say. Antonio. Passed on inside. Peso dribbles off the foot, but it's kept alive. A chance here for Caetano inside, Caetano. Yeah, they really do struggle to stay in front of her. She gets in the paint in a flash.
The energy that Caetano brings to this Angolan side, every time she drives into the paint against the Egyptian defense, she's able to draw a foul and make it to the free throw line, and that could play a huge role in terms of how they'll have to defend her going forward.
Second AfroBasket for Sarah Caetano. She plays in Portugal. Had some really impressive numbers in the 2023 campaign. 18 points and 5 rebounds. There's Antonio. They still are struggling inside. There is a literal lid on the rim here for Angola as the percentages continue to drop inside.
Great crush in there from Caetano. Nothing is going to come easy here for both of these teams. It's going to be as physical as it can get. Tamara Ibrahim will take a break.
Ibrahim out now. Ahmed forced to pick up the dribble. Nice work again. The counter press play pays dividends here and forces a turnover.
There's 2 turnovers there for Nurhan Ahmed since she came on. Just trying to do her best to contribute to the team, but there's so much pressure from the Angolans.
Pascual. Antonio looking to work. She'll pass the ball inside there. Perfect pass, perfect finish.
That's nicely done. She's up to 4 points. Caetano.
The perfect 2 of 2 there for Caetano. There, inside out dribble, drive in, another miss, but gotta like the aggression from captain Abdelnabi. Pascual. Dribble handoff, Caetano. Just continuing to showcase how difficult it is to stay in front of her. She draws another foul.
That is the time that she made the decision to drive into the paint. There were 3 Egyptian bodies on her, just trying to deny her from getting to the basket, and that's exactly what they're going to try and keep doing. But the Antonio and Caetano combination there for the 2 points, very timely here for Angola to make it a 4-point game, and they could reduce that.
Both teams are in the red. Caetano makes the first one there. A chance to just get it back within a single possession. We've seen just one really close game, and that was yesterday evening in Mali's win over South Sudan. This one, it has the same kind of flavor with the way that these 2 teams are playing the game.
Absolutely great basketball from both of these teams.
The 3 ball is fired up. That one is short, and there is going to be no more time left. And it is the Pharaoh Queens who have pushed out with the 2-point lead. They started better. Angola made some wholesale changes and tried to push back, but at the end of the first quarter, it's Egypt 16, Angola 14. Slow start it was for Angola, but let's have a look at the stats, Asher.
Yeah, it is 4 for 14 for Angola from the field, 6 for 12, which is 50%, but the free throw line has been definitive here for Angola, 6 for 9 there as well, and just the Egyptians getting the 4 from the charity line.
For me, the team has found joy from the exterior yet, but Raheem Al-Gadawi, it's a name we're going to be saying quite a bit, I'm sure. We have a look at Ibrahim on the break.
His captain, fantastic in the way that she orchestrated that movement from the steal to the pass, and on the other second possession with Farida making it count. And the Egyptians just opening up an incredible lead there against Angola. Bizeko just reviving what the Angolans can do in terms of trying to get against this Egyptian side that is very electric.
We've got to close off the left-hand side if possible. Abdel-Gawad, she went off with an injury. Wait to see if she's able to make a return, but will be an important part of what needs to be done if Egypt are going to hold on to this lead.
The arrival of Caetano and Antonio has been impressive. Just look at the combination and their decisions to just drive and attack the Egyptians.
Antonio injected late into the first quarter by Coach Paul Marquedo, and they brought the lead back within 2 points. It's a single possession game, and here we are at the Palais de Sport in Trècheville. That's where we are in Abidjan. 3,500 capacity seat there, and slowly but surely the crowd is starting to come inside and support this pinnacle or this showcase of superb African women's basketball. You can download the app, Courtside 1891, and by just scanning the QR code, live streams, extended highlights, and you can get all the live scores from all the wonderful action taking place across the world. But this one matters more. It is the FIBA Women's AfroBasket, and you join the FIBA family.
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow all the live action from across the world. This is the premier women's basketball tournament on the African continent. The finest players from Angola and Egypt on the floor right now, tussling it out in their group phase fixture.
Only one possession separated the teams out of that first quarter. And now we are off and running in the second. Al-Shabrawi driving, she'll pull up, stop on a dime. Rattles in and out, nice work on the glass. Aggressive on the rebound. Peso. Top of the key now. Caetano. Peso looking for it on the cut, nothing there. Antonio. Ball pressure. Antonio fakes, tries to drop it in. That one won't quite fall. Applegate getting her first minutes here for the Egyptians. Now, some pressure. Abdel-Gawad is back in. Abdel-Gawad, wow, manipulated away right inside to get the 2 points.
She always looks like she has a magnet in her hands, and the relationship with basketball.
Well, that relationship seems to be working out. She's now 3 or 4 from the field, and I think leads all scorers on the floor.
Absolutely fantastic work there from her. She's really understood what she has to do for the Egyptian side, and carrying that weight really helped her to stay motivated and just producing for Egypt.
Spilling to the floor is Caetano. Al-Shabrawi looks frustrated with the call, but you have a look there at the replay, and it is Al-Shabrawi called for the contact. And on the other side, Abdel-Gawad inside gets 2.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic there in terms of the skill set that she uses to keep her eyes and use the board to make those 2 points. But Caetano back to the free throw line and up to 6 points. Misses her free throw there. It's the first time that she's missed on the line.
Well, I was going to say a chance here because Egypt want to try and extend the lead out to make it a little bit more uncomfortable in terms of scoreboard pressure for the Angolans. They are looking to pick up their first win in the competition. The way that it's structured is that you just get 2 games in group play. Now, long-range shot. Al-Gadawi, who still can't find her touch from the perimeter.
Al-Gadawi back on the floor. Her leadership is needed.
Lots of pressure, but they do get the ball in eventually. Forced to pick up the dribble. Caetano. Drop-off pass. Masterfully done, and it's dropped in by Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio has come alive, and it's really great to see her, having seen her as a junior playing for Angola. and the combination with Caetano, it comes from over 7 years of playing together. And this is the new generation of Angola.
Yeah, that chemistry really does show up. El Shabrawi draws the foul out there from Antonio. Just the first foul in this second quarter.
Continues to be a very tightly contested matchup.
Around the screen goes El Shabrawi, so she's pressured. Well, that is a high-speed matchup as you see the 10 points in the paint to the 12 of Egypt. Two teams that continue to play a similar style. You said it before the game, Asher, and it's playing out on the floor.
Yeah, the hustle is real on the floor between these two teams, and Angola, they know that they have to stay locked in as Italy Lucas comes back on the floor. She knows the Egyptian players very well, played for Al Ahly, played also in Alexandria, and spent some of her best time as a professional basketball player in Egypt.
Well, she is a legend on the continent, is Italy Lucas, and she took a little bit of a breather, slow start, and now back in, seeing if she can impact the game from a playmaking perspective. Dzeko. Cross-court pass is telegraphed, and it just gives a chance for Abdel Nabi to hit that one out.
Yeah, you can see the frustration there from the coach, Paolo. Just can't believe that that pass was attempted or even thought about.
That moment as the ball gets tapped out, just trying to put the players in their places, the referee, but it is Angola basketball. Shot up. Antonio can't hold the miss on the rebound. They have been highly intentful trying to push the pace in transition. That time the connection does not work as Abdelgawad can't hold. Can't even get there.
Egypt will be disappointed that they've lost 2 possessions that they could have scored from when it came to transition. The 2-point lead is not enough cushion at this point in the game.
No, it's been a slow start to the second quarter compared to the frenetic start from the first. Antonio, baseline shot. Tapped out. It is Captain Farida. Abdel Nabi gets the last touch again.
Yeah, looking at the players on the court here for Angola, they're playing small ball to just try and execute here as Dzeko scores from under the basket.
Perfect execution, another baseline, another bounce play. They get 2 points. There's pressure now. Al Shabrawi stops on a dime, hands off. Abdelgawad knocks down the 3.
And that's the first 3-pointer of this game. She's up to 11 points and the first player in double digits here today.
Well, having a much better game. Only had 10 points in the loss to Cote d'Ivoire already, has surpassed that input, and there's a scramble for the ball on the floor. We've seen bodies flying, and you doubt how much this means to both of these players.
You can see that in the way that they fight for every ball at whatever attempt. And Meral Abdelgawad just always in it, but the clever pass there from Italy Lucas to Dzeko under the basket. There was no defense, and she had all the time to get the ball on the board and the 2 points.
Still, Egypt hold on to their lead. Al Shabrawi, Abdelgawad, hot hand right now. That one comes off into the hands of Angola. Lucas on the break. Lucas scoop pass, and the intent was good, a little bit too much, or maybe too inventive, and Caetano can't hold it.
There's frustration there from Italy Lucas. She cannot believe that the pass did not drop. But let's look at, she was in transition and wasn't keeping her eyes on Lucas.
I wasn't sure if it was for her or for the player behind, but the net result is a turnover.
Well, that speaks to the style of Italy Lucas. If you've seen her play over the years, you know that she's a She likes to add a bit of style there, some sleeky moves. And the Angolan players, perhaps, they missed her at the AfroBasket. She wasn't in Kigali due to a family commitment.
I am very certain they missed her, all that leadership. And there's another bit of contact off the ball. There's going to be a lot of that inside the paint, without a doubt. As now Keith comes back to try and match up against Abdel Gawad. Abdel Nawi. Or rather, Abdel Nabi. Farida gets that too. Lucas. Dzeko drives, and Dzeko, wow, there's the contact.
5-point lead here for Egypt. And Angola, they really need to score in this possession. Dzeko has all the time to make it count. And they've really seen that once they continue attacking the paint, they could get some fouls. And with Dzeko not converting here, it hurts Angola.
Definitely had an impact since the reintroduction of Alexia Dzeko. 24 years young and played some of her college basketball for the Florida Gators. She is a young up-and-coming talent that is being integrated into the rotation. Al-Shabrawi. 3-ball comes off, and there's a chance here for Angola. They want to try and bring it back, see if they can get this lead back within 2 points, maybe even 1. Hook pass, strong drive, and there is contact called Correa. They have found a pattern of play that they think works, Angola, as they continue to work these drives inside the paint.
That is back-to-back fouls on Angola, but they really need to make it count on the free throw line as Cristiana Correa heads to the free throw line for the first time in this game. They're 7 for 13, 53.85%. Angola. Frustration there from El Gadawi as her foul count is just 1 personal foul.
So already going deeper into the rotation here with Coach Julian Martinez. There was a DNP for Khadija Abou-Gate and Leila Khalifa, who's come back who's come onto the floor for the first time, and both players now have registered their minutes in AfroBasket competition. And this is maybe a learning from yesterday evening as Angola moved closer now with just a 2-point differential.
And we spoke about going deep into the rotation. It's absolutely small ball here for Egypt as well. And second three-pointer.
Lines it up. Ibrahim knocks down the 3.
Timely positioning there from the right side, just exactly where Abdel Gawad was.
Lucas is still scoreless from the field and just hasn't looked like she's in rhythm yet, hasn't found the flow of the game. And there is Ibrahim again in the wars on both ends of the floor.
She knows that she is one of the senior players here on the court, on the 5, that are going to fight out and make sure that when they go to the dressing room at the halftime break, they have something to smile about.
The drive is missed. It's a chance here for Angola to push back out. Caetano crosses. Forced to try and kick out to Lucas. They keep alive. Dzeko sets feet. That one was wayward. Now it's a chance for Egypt. They have numbers on the break. Khalifa. Abou-Gate. The drop off. Now it comes back out. Al-Shabrawi has time and space and drops in the 3. Bank is open here in Abidjan.
That is 3 straight three-pointers here for Egypt, just enough to give them an 8-point lead with 4 minutes to play in the second quarter.
4:04 brings a timeout on the floor with scoring run largest lead of the game for Egypt, and timeout is called.
Pessoal, eu já disse, não está nos 3 pontos. Vamos para dentro. Vocês continuam a lançar os 3 pontos. Quando a bola não está a entrar, vamos para dentro, vamos para dentro. Depois é o problema da recuperação defensiva. Lucas, Isabelle, que podem trocar com vocês não, porra. E tu nunca largas uma lançadora. Vai vir ajudar aqui. Pessoal, não vale a pena você manter. Fizemos 1-2-2. Tiramos sempre a jogada do meio, tiramos do meio, porque ela está com a 7 e está a vir atacar a Cristina aqui. Calção.
Vamos lá, equipa, vamos.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it's been Egypt who've been attacking the paint. Then you have a look at the work that they've been doing inside and out. And some great shooting from the outside as Maral Abdel Gawad has led the scoring from the front. What superb shooting. She's turned around a performance from yesterday evening.
Absolutely, 11 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 70%, just enough to, keep this Egyptian side in fine form. That's just 1 point more than she scored in the entire game yesterday against Cote d'Ivoire, and that's her count before the halftime break. So she's locked in. She knows that they have to do everything possible here to beat Angola and get that 1 win and wait for the game between Angola and Cote d'Ivoire.
Into what has now become custom press. Al-Shabrawi taps that, looking to try and hustle and keep alive. They still have to get the ball across. That was the call comes in. It's going to be 8 seconds. That was a superb, tenacious defense there. You see teammates coming into Al-Shabrawi to just give her a tap.
Impeccable, the fight that Egypt are bringing to this game, but particularly Alia El-Shabrawi, who is literally throwing everything at this game. And you can see what it means to her.
So now the question is that looked like it was an 8 seconds call. But it's going to be Angola basketball. 14 seconds. The shot clock reset. Nonetheless, chance here for Makit. No.
And Matikit's just yet to settle into this game here. She's been doing so much on defense, but yet to score some points on the offensive side.
Al-Shabrawi. She has definitely played with a lot of energy, trying to push the ball inside both ends of the floor, and a problem matchup on the floor.
Now let's look at the replay there. El-Shabrawi with the pump and the outlet. Doesn't get it.
It's Khalifa inbound. Ibrahim. Gate. Now they work the offensive set. Khalifa on the drive, runs with the left hand. The runner drops in.
Beautifully done there for Egypt, and they take a 10-point lead as we head into the halftime break here.
Duseko on the opposite end, trying to find ways to break this run now. It's been tough going with Lucas back on the floor. Lucas lobs the pass. Matikit pass doesn't go to hand, and again another wasted possession here. And Angola, they are a bit under the gun.
Angola are yet to recover from that Egyptian scoring run, especially with the 2 3-pointers as Italy Lucas tries to find Matikit, and there's a scramble for the ball, and Egypt will try to score yet again on this possession.
That's great work from Fernando. She was on the floor, I think, as a size and speed matchup for Al-Shabrawi. Will that change Angola's fate on the floor? That's picked up now. And it's dropped right in. Alexia Dzeko.
Dzeko with a good energy there. There's no energy.
Dzeko with the energy again, and that pass not dropped in. Fernando couldn't make the sharp heads-up defensive play from Dzeko count.
It would have been perfect for Angola to get a quick 4 points there, but now they have to fight again on defense and try to stop Egypt from scoring.
Ball kicked out. And there is on the run, Captain Farida Abdelnabi. Both teams have set their strategy to allow the paint penetration to happen, and you just see that it's been a quite effective strategy.
Well, look at the replay there. Captain fantastic Farida Abdelnabi just getting bumped inside the paint, but she makes it count on the free throw line as Egypt extend their lead here to 9 points. She's 100% on the free throw line, misses the second one. I guess that's a commentator's blessing.
It's a blessing indeed. We have a look at how many times that can happen in the game. You've got to watch your words sometimes out here, Usher.
I will watch my words, but Angola, they have to make sure that they score on this possession. They're already in the red.
Fernando, that matchup with Al-Shabrawi. Whoa, body on the line. Ball pushed up into the path of Khalifa. Blows the layup with too many missed opportunities, close range by both teams. They're looking for Matikit. Abou-Gate taps it. Now it's Ibrahim. And we've seen some terrific tempo, but the execution from both teams has just been lackluster for those 2 possessions.
Wow, absolutely incredible. You can see Abdel Gawad Miral from the bench just celebrating what Aliyah was able to do on that. There was a miss and just not enough to get Egypt on the scoring board.
It's 9 points. Separates these 2 teams. Angola, they set it up. Now a chance for Caetano, hanging. Move look good, no. Comes off and rebound again, controlled. It's 3 of 7 in this quarter.
Yeah, impressive there from Egypt on the other side with a 60%. 3 for 5.
Dzeko pressuring Khalifa. Ball pitched out. Abdel Gawad. Another 3-ball falls in, and she is unstoppable.
That's her second 3-pointer here today and the 4th for the Egyptians. And it's just really working for them. And now you have her go up to 14 points. Just continuing to do and the damage here against Angola.
4 of 7 from the 3-point line. They have shot the ball remarkably well here, the Egyptians. It's helped them extend this lead out. Angola, they just looked out of ideas.
Just from the right side, she connects nicely from the best line. She had done that earlier from the 45% angle. And the hustle is what is being rewarded here for Egypt. Aliyah El-Shabrawi, she's done everything for Egypt. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain, but she's done well.
Christina Matikit to the bench. In comes Joanna Antonio. Substitutions on both sides. Aja Abou-Gate out. Chance for her to get a breather. Khalifa. Fast attack. Again, it painfully rattles out on the miss. Chance here for Angola and Caetano. Final 35 seconds. They have the opportunity to get 2 for 1 if they want it. Dzeko jabs. Dzeko steps back and pulls up the shot. Nothing there for her. Gaps right back into her hands. Drop off pass into Antonio. Can't find it. Al-Gadawi saves the possession for Egypt. Shot clock is turned off. They put the ball in the hands of Abdel Gawad. Hands to Al-Gadawi, who's going to turn and fire, and it comes off the front iron. And so Egypt won't be able to take that possession score into the halftime break, but they do take the lead. And they executed with excellence at halftime. It's Egypt 35, Angola 23. And we will have a 15-minute break before we get back out onto the floor. But Egyptian Pharaoh Queens in control.
Absolutely great basketball here from the North African side, just bringing the heat and energy against this Angolan side. They were locked in from the first minute. But let's look at the numbers. 30% from the field for Angola, 47 for Egypt, and the 4 3-pointers have been the difference here for Egypt, which could explain the 12-point lead at the halftime break.
28 rebounds, 20 of those 13 turnovers. That's a number that will definitely be on the mind of Coach Paul Magedo, and something that they'll want to have a look at.
Hey, look at the numbers. Abdel Gawad, 14 points at the halftime break, 9 for Dzeko for Angola, El Gadawi the 6, Ibrahim with the 5, and Caetano and Antonio coming off the bench to contribute a combined 11 points.
Let's look at what happened in that second quarter when Abdel Gawad, she's probably going to form a prominent part of these highlights. You look at the penetration inside and the skillful work, beautifully finished.
Already scoring 4 more points than she had in the entire game against the Ivorians yesterday at the halftime break. She'll be pleased. But great to see Angola just lock in that second quarter and try to stay alive here against Egypt.
Yeah, back and forth. There you go, Lucas with the stylistic pass on that play that was drawn up, and it just goes right in. Abdel Gawad, second one of her 3-pointers to drop on in. She's been so sublime on the floor.
The teamwork here has been very impressive to find Abdel Gawad. Again, on the right side, she connects easily, but also the captain throwing everything on the floor, Farida Abdel Nabi.
Penetration, driving, those are 18 or 16 points on the interior. Al Shabrawi has worked hard on the defensive end, rewards herself with that make from the outside.
Absolutely, looking at the hustle there from Aliyah El Shabrawi and getting rewarded on the offensive side as well, as Abdel Gawad makes it rain from the baseline.
Sharp shooting has featured as the Egyptians moved up 4 of 12 from the 3-point line at 33%. But what a fascinating first half it was. Let's take a little breather and we'll be back in just a little bit.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
The free throw line, in comes Matilda Jock. And Batuli Kamara attempts and gets her first points here today.
Barker finds the pinpoint pass, and that is 2 superb points as Al Sharawi on the board.
Senna with the rebound there, gets it to Dillard. Dillard looking for options, finds the cinch up for the first points of this game. Captain Fantastic, the poster girl of this Senegalese side.
Pass is picked off. That's excellent defensive work. That's how you build some confidence ahead of the game. And there is 2 points that they've got nothing easier. Nicole Mieza gets her first 2 points. Sees Okoro, and that is a superb play. Just a connection and a dime and a finish.
Taps the paint and an easy, nice blocker to tie the game.
That's definitely going to be a highlight.
Attacks the basket and good. It is a foul. Impressive finish there. Jo Makane misses her shot attempt, and on the other side gets involved on defense trying to block Kaba.
Look good out of the hand. Side, he spins, gets the bucket, and you can count the and one. Again, we get to see what her footwork and her handwork combined as she picks up 2 points. Turns, well contested again. Oh, good work there by Okonkwo. The chance for Nigeria out on the fast break. Carlos sent back. Says, get that out of here.
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Leading the way on the offensive end here for Angola. She's done it by just attacking the paint. It has been quite spectacular at times throughout the game. Just the way that she's gone inside and been able to do what she has needed to do to lead the scoring for Angola.
She's grown in leaps and bounds over the last 5 years here for Angola, and just being able to find her place within this very star-studded Angolan side, and on defense and on offense, and also the ability to transition that into points.
3 of 8 from the field. She's got 4 rebounds, but you just look at the way that she's able to accelerate ahead of the defense. Going downhill, I think, is one of her primary strengths, and you find very few defenders who will be able to stay in front of her.
Yeah, she's also has the physicality and the ability to read the game, which is absolutely great.
3 or 4 from the free throw line for her. But on the other side, you look at veteran leadership and scoring. Maral Abdelgawad has provided it in bundles. 14 points for her.
Yeah, her teammates are able to find her in transition, but she also is a very versatile player who can contribute on defense. Look at that defensive play there that forces Angola to lose the ball, and it amasses to 2 points on the other side of the court.
What's been impressive is that she's done it inside and outside, and has done it in a variety of ways, showcasing just how versatile her offensive bag is.
And that helps so much that she can also score from inside the paint with pressure on her, but is also able to score that 3 ball every time that she's presented the opportunity. She's down 2 of those already, and scoring from the right-hand side of the court.
stretching the floor all the way out. Morel Abdelgawad. You spoke about the 10 points she had against Cote d'Ivoire. This is a way to bounce back, and she's leading the scoring right now and helping Egypt hold on to their lead.
Beautifully done there from both of these players. Abdelgawad will continue to be a key player here for the Egyptians, but also Ranim El Gadawi, Asrar. We haven't seen so much of her yet in this competition. She's one of the senior players. Asrar Bakr, an African champion at the club level with Sporting Alexandria, the mecca of Egyptian basketball.
And that's where this debate will come in, Asha, because when you look at the success of Egyptian clubs, North African basketball, especially at the club level, club continental level, they just continue to win titles. Sporting Alexandria, they were back-to-back champions in the FIBA club competitions, and then Al Ahly picking up the win in this year's FIBA Africa Women's Basketball League. It's a testament to the way that they go about constructing their club basketball, right?
Absolutely. You see these players, their skill sets in every play that they make, their game reading, the way that they handle the ball on offense and on defense. It's just textbook in every way that you look at it. 14 points for Abdelgawad, 4 rebounds for Ibrahim, and 3 assists from Ibrahim as well. Just being able to shine and help Egypt stay in the lead here against Angola. 12-point difference at the halftime break.
But then you look on the other side, and then with the legacy and history that Angola has, well, we just take in more of Abdelgawad's stats. They were the perfection from the free throw line and a 5 of 8 from the field. We feel that she'll have to continue to play the same way. You saw what happened to Egypt's play when she was off the floor, came back in and had a tangible impact for sure every time she got the chance. But when you talk about Interclub and Primero de Agosto, especially at the club level continentally, they also have proud history and heritage.
Yeah, Interclube, Primero de Agosto are some of the big clubs on the continent. They've had so much success over the years, but Dzeko leading all the scorers for Angola with the 9 points, and we're able to see that success there. Sarah Caetano as well with the 6 points, and Antonio from the bench with the 4 is something that has been important for the coach of Angola.
Well, we're not too far away from the start of this second half. Angola, they've got to find a way back, and you do think that we might see some defensive changes happen. We're surprisingly slow start for them out of the blocks, and then when the change came in from Coach Paul Makedo and he put the combination in that he found that unlocked, and then he changed it up again. You got to find the 5 players that he think will make it work. But I think that's going to be a big part of it, choosing the right rotation at the right time.
Well, for the starting 5 of Angola, they've really because no points for Isabel, Fernando, and Correa with the 2. It's just been Dzeko who's done a good job of amassing those 9, and Christina Matikit with no points as well. So just Dzeko from the starting 5 has contributed points here for Angola, and that's not just good enough.
I think they're going to have to look at their leaders, their veterans, to try and bring the game right back for them, because Lucas has been too quiet on the offensive end. Matikit has been too quiet. The young scorers have definitely given them some value, but here in the second half, you got to look to the players that have been there before to provide the scoring and the leadership on the floor that is needed.
Yeah, absolutely. 0 for 4 for Italy. Lucas from the 3-point line. That's very uncharacteristic of her. We've seen her score in very tight positions over the years, playing for Angola, but also at club level. And she's yet to find that rhythm, but it speaks again to what the coach can do to turn things around here for Angola.
Well, that is going to be a factor, but when you talk about leadership, On the other side, Abdel Gawad alongside her front court partner and club partner Al Gadawi, they are going to try and lead the way entirely as well. And Egypt will rely on them down the stretch. They will see a lot of the ball, and I think that will be a key narrative as we head into the second half.
Yeah, we saw the contribution there of the bench players for Egypt in terms of the hassle, but it's been 12 points for the bench players of Angola, just 2 for Egypt. But the energy in terms of defense that we saw from Bakr and El Shabrawi, who obviously got to start there for Egypt.
Yeah, she might only have 3 points, but her energy and the way that she's led from a defensive perspective is something that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. She's invaluable on the floor right now for the Egyptians, and I think she's going to have to play a big role as well defensively when it happens. Second quarter done. Second half about to happen, and it is Angola with the basketball. Caetano. Antonio there around the screen. Correa is on the floor as well. Diseko forced to pick up a dribble. Diseko drops off the pass, and there's a good aggressive take. That one is well guarded. Fernando can't find it. This is a young core being utilized out of the timeout by Coach Loquero. Egypt. Al-Shabrawi. Abdel Nabi. Al-Shabrawi goes behind the back. Will have to kick out. Shot clock winds down. Forced to take the shot. Al-Shabrawi picks up the rebound. Super pass, and that's a great start there for Al Gadawi and Egypt.
That's the reaction you want coming out of the halftime break, and we spoke about how El Gadawi coming back onto the floor will contribute to Egypt's extension of this lead, and now they have a 14-point lead.
Angola have got to find a way to finish close to the rim. There's 2 blocks. Ball goes out. They still have possession. Shot clock is winding down. And the 3 will not fall in on the miss from Correa.
Frustration there from the coach, but let's look at the replay. Cristina Correa.
Sent back by Al Gadawi twice, the double block. And that is effort and energy that is needed. Al-Shabrawi crosses. Trying to work and manipulate her way around the Abdel Gawad. Shot clock winds down. She puts up an inventive looking shot, and that is not going to work out for necessity, not the mother of invention on that one, as the turnover is happening.
Good defense there from Angola, but can they now switch that into offense, get some points on the board?
Scoreless so far. The Angolans.
They're limited to 9 points in that second quarter while conceding 19. Not exactly the kind of approach that they want here in the third quarter.
So the replay system is going to be triggered. I think it's the coach's challenge on possession there. And we're going to take a breather. Well, not a breather. We're going to let the referees tell us exactly what they're looking for.
We are going to review. We have head coach challenge. Initial decision is red ball. We are going to review who goes the ball go out of bounds. Please put this angle play it faster. Yes. Now stop. Go back please. So stop now. Go frame by frame. Go frame by frame. So stop. We have red catching the ball. White is touching. White is putting the ball down. White. Now is red knee. Red. Go back. No, I don't see any touch there. Go this angle. So it's still only red. Go. The ball is going between the legs. Go forward. I don't see any other touch after this red line. You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
So the ball is going out from the red, so the ball need to go for a white. So thank you. So after the review, the ruling on the court is changed. The ball goes to the white team.
And so it's a successful review. The possession is changed, and it is going to be Egypt basketball.
Well, this is incredible to see come alive, especially when you know where we've come from. And yes, they hug each other. No bad blood between the coach, Julian Martinez, and El Gadawi. Of course, tempers can be flaring.
You want your star player and your coach to be aligned, and that's very important. And you see that moment important, I think, for Egypt. Also probably 2 points.
2 extra points thanks to that official review there that gets them the possession, and they make it count here, Egypt.
Now, this might be panic stations here for Angola. They have looked like they've run out of ideas against the press here from Egypt. 39-23, that's the score. They still have to score in this third quarter.
Yeah, it is a foul for Farida Abdelnaby, but the full court press continues from Egypt.
They get by the pressure this time. Dzeko. Caetano. Passes out to Antonio. Now the aggressive drive on the interior. That pass doesn't find the recipient. It allows Egypt out on the break, and up goes captain. And Farida Abdelnaby again in transition. They are doing a great job of turning turnovers into fast break points.
She's really been involved on both ends of the court here, Farida Abdelnaby, and that's what they need, Egypt, to be in the faces of the Angolan players and try to make every possession count in transition here. And she'll go to the free throw line. Farida Abdelnaby. 1 team foul for Angola.
Dzeko picking up her second foul. Peso is on the bench with 3 fouls. She is a player that I think we will see again soon. Definitely had impact when she was on the floor. Second one drops in.
Well, Egypt are 50% on the free throw line, 5 for 10. And just continuing here to create that lead for themselves.
Trying to put some work in there with the back to the basket. Christina Correa frustrated. They can't unlock these clamps that Egypt have put on them.
Everything seems to be going in the way for the Egyptians. They're scoring, they're playing good defense, forcing Angola to make all the turnovers and just executing on the other side of the court.
Gawad uses the screen inside. She goes, hangs. Oh, wow. What superb finishing.
That's a veteran move there from Abdel Gawad. She continues to contribute here. 16 points, leading all scorers on the floor. She can shoot from the outside, but also pump and just be a problem for these Angolans.
Caetano bundles in, and Caetano, well, there is contact inside the paint. This might be a way for Angola to try to get their way back if they're able to stop the clock, get some shots up from the free throw line. Just, they reward their aggression inside the paint.
We saw Caetano start to do that when she came on in the first half of this game, and just continuing to do that. They know that's what was working for them together with Antonio and Peso. And this is the first time we're really seeing that kind of energy here in the third quarter.
Well, it's been all Egypt. Caetano 7 points there, trying to will her team back into this contest. Antonio comes in. That is sharp work on the board. I think the contact comes in as well. on the defense, and Abdel Gawad will pick up the foul. Italy looks on. She's had a tough afternoon. It's been a tough introduction for Angola in this competition.
2 fouls for Abdel Gadawi, El Gadawi. 2 fouls for her, and not so much of a concern here. She'll stay on the floor.
Again, that work, that play that they've utilized this time. Rebound, Antonio. Nothing is working for Angola. The pass off Caetano, can't finish. Scramble for the ball. And now it's just almost a moment of madness as both players fight for possession of the ball. The rule is you don't give up the basketball, especially if you have it in your hands.
There are no surprises there because of the involvement of Aliyah El Shabrawi. She's brought that energy here to Egypt and just always trying to fight for every possession. It's her style of play, but also that of the Egyptian side. They know that they're coming up against a giant, and this game means so much to Egypt because they already lost their first to Cote d'Ivoire.
Must-win game. That's how these pools are structured. Gotta do your best to finish up at top. Angola, they're on the back foot. Abdel Gawad. Shot goes in, and that is superb from Ibrahim.
That is their 5th three-pointer here, Egypt, to extend their lead to 21 points against Angola.
Diseko. Strong drive. You can see the frustration from Captain Abdel Nabi. She's just irate and couldn't stay in front of the foot speed there of Diseko. Blur as she blows by.
Well, she scores a 3-pointer and then is involved on the other side of the floor trying to stop Diseko. That's captain material, and she amasses 3 personal fouls. But it looks like Coach Julian Martinez is going to actually make a substitution with Aliyah El Shabrawi coming off. Abdel Nabi will stay on the floor.
Well, that's a bit of a gamble, keeping the captain with the foul situation on the floor. It's going to temper her aggression on the defensive end, but the shot went in nonetheless there. Diseko up to 10 now.
10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. She's really been the standout player here for Angola. First Angolan player here to go to double digits, and she'll take a break.
Well, bringing in the changes now. Fernando.
The gamble doesn't last long as Farida Abdel Nabi goes to the bench, replaced by the evergreen Radwa Oais.
Her first bit of action in this competition. Oais hooks across to Abdel Nabi. Abdel Gawad loses it on the way out. Al Gadawi, rather.
Antonio looks to be going through some pain there. She doesn't look like she was able to stand on both of her feet. Let's look at the replays. There's involvement there with Ranim El Gadawi.
Well, that might actually be concerned because there was no real contact visible when you look at the replay, and she is in some pain there on the side of the court. Medical officials have made their way right there. Too many of these non-contact injuries throughout the wear and tear of a basketball player's career. Those are the ones that you get the most concerned about, not the contact ones that you see sometimes happen on the floor. So Antonio gonna be carried off. She can still apply some pressure, and she will be tended to and looked at. 5:25 left here in the third quarter. Ball pressure working so far for the Egyptians. Caetano! Wow, that was superb. Drive in. Just everything was working but the finish, and that's kind of been the theme for Angola.
And it's been a very tough outing for them here in the third quarter. They've struggled to find their feet and just been able to score 3 points in 5 minutes of the third quarter.
A lot of that can be allocated and attributed to the finishing at the rim. As now Christina Matikite, she's in. Khalifa drives. That one is contested. There's maybe a case for some contact. Nonetheless, it is Angola basketball. They have numbers. Caetano pulls up. Inside it goes Matikite. Ball kicked out. Angola looking to work. Angola on the drive. No. Again, just that last touch as the Milda Musati's layup goes off the back iron.
Impressive rebounding there. That is her 6th rebound, Abdel Gadawi. And she's always in the right place at the right time. You have to really give it up to her. El Gadawi, 7 points, 6 rebounds.
A game that's now tactical in nature. This is going to be a chess match playing out on the floor. The Gawad. Al Gadawi. She wants it right back. Al Gadawi turns. She'll go right, then left, a little hook shot. Short this time. The rebound up by Caetano. Pass falls favorably for the Angolans. Back it comes. Caetano going to work around the double screen. Kicks it out. The ball falls into the hands of Fernando. Nothing working right now on the offensive end. They have another opportunity. Trying to make it work. Caetano, that time, contact drawn on the inside.
But it is foul trouble now for Egypt with 3 minutes, 49 seconds to go as Caetano continues to be a problem here for the Angolan defense. And she'll go to the free throw line. She's 3 for 8, 37.5% on the free throw line here today, Sarah Caetano.
It's always interesting to watch the players' expressions on their face after a foul gets called. No one thinks that they've committed a foul. It's one of the reasons it makes refereeing such a tough job. Caetano's shot comes off the front iron.
Well, I don't know if the players know that the game is live on television at this point, that there will be a replay. But it is, of course, coming to the frustration that they get whenever there's contact. And Caetano makes it count. He's up to 8 points here, just like her jersey number.
19 points, or 18 points, the differential. So they're still not all hope lost. Angola need to put together a couple of significant runs, maybe 2 runs as that shot comes right off. Bakra can't find her touch. Not been easy going for her on the field. Fernando working. Fernando drives it. Still, these layups being pushed over the rim. Abdel Gawad attacking, no. And you see the shot attempt, you gotta like the aggression, but the finishing now from both teams has been a bit of a struggle.
Absolutely, 22 points for Egypt inside the paint and 14 for Angola. It's just really been concerning here for Angola. 27 points as we head to the end of the third quarter is quite surprising.
Caetano inside, beautiful work. He uses the screen, goes weak side, and finishes with that right hand.
Up to 10 points there, 3 for 7 from the field, and just really taking matters into her own hands, literally.
Those are the kind of plays that can help spark the offense. Abdel Gawad trying to spark the offense for Egypt, and she does. Drops in 2.
Well, this time it drops, and she's up to 18 points, really beating the Angolan defense. The second time of trying for that miss earlier.
Isabel Fernando trying to push the ball. And that pass intended for Christina Martikit, she can't quite hold it. And it's not been the kind of performance that she will be accustomed to. Still looking for her first points from the field. Martikit on that pass goes right out. It's been a forgetful, or a performance that she'd rather put in the back of the memory so far. She might not see the court again, given what we've seen from her so far.
It's been a very tough outing for her here on offense and on defense, of course. But the Egyptians, they continue to look towards El Gadawi.
Shot falls in, 3 ball, and that might help the Angolans. Lusati lasers one.
Her first points here in this game, and also their first 3-pointer in the game after 13 attempts.
Finally able to unlock the 3-point line. Now the drive and the counter always brings Egypt back. This is the kind of game where the free throw line, tempo not really being allowed to flow because there are fouls on almost every possession. So got to grind out a win here. Will grind out the win whichever way they can. Egypt.
6 for 11 on the free throw line here, Egypt, in this game. She misses her first attempt. Radwa Owais.
And this is what can happen when 2 teams that are well matched up get to the floor. They cancel each other out with their style of play. So it becomes a chess match that involves free throws and the ability to make shots in the half or full court.
That's her first point here in the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2025 Owais.
Beautiful work. The extra pass on the inside to Christina Correa. That might be signs of some chemistry here for Angola.
It's a very young 5 on the floor here as Angola just tried to continue rebuilding their women's basketball team. Christina Correa.
Ranked 48th in Africa, or 48th in the world, 4th in Africa. This is their 21st edition. They were champions in 2011 and 2013. Christina Martikit was part of that campaign, and they went to the World Cup as well.
Correa there with the 4 points, all of them coming from the free throw line.
Owais. Ball is kicked out now. El Gadawi driving, drops in 2 again. Another replay of the work we've seen from her, and she moves up to 20.
That's impressive as she makes 9.
Ball turned over. Egypt, they push it up and push it in, and that's dropped in for 2. Abdel Gawad, El Gadawi, the combination works again, and 20 points.
20 points in this game. She's been the core player, the go-to player with the hot hands here, Miral Abdel Gawad. Beautifully done. She's been such a problem for the Angolans, and very unstoppable, especially in transition.
The relationship between coach and player needs to be studied here. They have a very communicative style when they come out. As El Gadawi's 10 points as she takes a breather.
Well, that's back-to-back games for El Gadawi. That she's been impressive.
Certainly has been. She's provided lots of offense there for the Egyptians when given the opportunity. Now it is Angola looking to work. Baseline drive is pushed out of bounds. Isabel Fernando speeding there, then now She will go to ground. This is a chance here for the Egyptians to just continue to apply the scoreboard pressure. When you look at the drive, stepping right out of bounds, Fernando.
Isabel Fernando just tried to use that best line, but the Egyptians, fundamental basketball to block her out and regain the ball possession here.
Around the screen, Captain Farida Abdelnabi. Egypt have been poised, patient. Now Shabrawi shot is lined up, and she makes good use of the opportunity from the three-point line.
El Shabrawi just continuing to come alive here, up to 8 points. And the celebration, defense is what wins you games, Q, you know that.
But it doesn't hurt that you can knock down some threes from the outside, and that's her second one. 2 for 2 now she is, but what? Wow, she's having quite the outing.
Yeah, she's really doing a good job. As we see Abdel Gawad Meral on the bench, just getting some rest.
Final 6 seconds, Al-Shabrawi. Look to work, she'll pull up from the three-point line, and that one comes off the front iron. And this is the first miss from the perimeter for Al-Shabrawi. In Egypt, they have just edged ahead in terms of they're growing the lead. It's 55 to Egypt, 34 to Angola. And will 10 minutes make all the difference, because the Angolans, they're being beaten into submission as far as we've seen in this contest. Al-Shabrawi, 8 points. Let's have a look at the stats as they break down.
Well, looking at the stats, 6 from 16 attempts from behind the arc is what has been the difference here for the Egyptians as they take a 21-point lead into the last quarter.
Three-point shooting features prominently as we have a look at the best plays in that third quarter. And with the 10 points, trying to steer the team there. Al-Gadawi finishing on the inside.
Fantastic there. Farida Abdelnabi just continuing to be involved here in the play between these two teams, and Sara Caetano just trying to get some of those options, driving into the paint there. And of course, Korea has also been a problem here for the Egyptians.
Well, it has been masterful performance from the field. When you look at the work Marel Abdel Gawad has been able to do, whether facilitating the play on the kick out there to Ibrahim or attacking the rim, she has been unstoppable. On the other side, Caetano has definitely tried in patches to mirror what has been done to her on the other side.
Engi finding Aliyah El Shabrawi to get that corner three-pointer. The energy, the intensity that she brings to the Egyptian side is literally what they need going into this last quarter as they eye that first victory here in Abidjan.
Courtside 1891, you can scan the QR code to download the app, and of course you can find out more about the schedules, you can get some extended highlights, and you can lock into the FIBA action that's occurring worldwide. But focus in on Abidjan, because that's where Africa's finest is battling out for the crown.
You see Meral Abdel Gawad, 20 points here today to lift this Egyptian side. 2 rebounds, both of them defensive, 1 steal, 1 assist, and just scoring and connecting twice from the right side here on the court.
The question really is, do Angola have a secret that they need to unlock here in the fourth quarter? Because this lead is significant. Diseko, she's on the floor. Correa now trying to work around the biggest Caetano. Somewhere, somehow, they've got to find some scoring on the offensive end. Correa's hook shot rattles off the back iron, and it's back into the wars for Al-Gadawi. Unafraid to put her body on the floor and just get involved whenever needed.
And you spoke about Angola needing an X factor going into this last quarter, and you can see the choices from the coach there. Diseko, Sara Caetano, Antonio is back, and they'll try to see what they can amass here against the Egyptians.
And maybe it's got to be on the defensive end. Turnaround hook shot, it's good. and it drops in there for Abdelnaby.
Abdelnaby with the individual brilliance there to extend Egypt's lead to 23 points now.
Gisego working. Correa will fire off and try the bank shot this time. It just comes up front iron. El Shabrawi gonna push up. Transition is where they're gonna try and make it count. Quick fire pass. And you see the work from the unstoppable El Gadawi inside.
El Gadawi is just continuing to be a problem here for the Egyptians. For the Angolans, I mean.
Kick out pass, Lusati! Well, find her. She's definitely locked in and lays it in from the three-point line.
That is a second three-pointer, first from the left and now from the right side, and looks to be the one with a hot hand. Perhaps she's the X factor you were asking about, Q.
There's definitely, it looks like there's an X developing around where she's playing. Baseline shot is strong. Rebound. Control goes behind the back now. Caetano. Free flow on the fast break and splits the D, draws the foul, goes to ground.
And it is cost to cost there for Sarah Caetano. She has the ball skills to take control here for Angola. And let's look at the replay there. The way that she beats the Egyptian defense, gets into the paint. She's fouled and will have an opportunity to go to the free throw line. But the fake there from Abdelnaby, beautiful to see, and the execution, and 2 points.
We really have been treated to fantastic footwork inside the paint throughout the first day, and the second game here. Post play has been prominent, and it's been wonderful to watch, and Abdelnaby showcases some more of that.
Yeah, as Caetano makes her first attempt. That is just composed, and the way that she approaches this. 11 points, 5 for 11 from the free throw line.
Scoreless afternoon so far for Italy. Lucas as she looked on from the bench, but there is another point that drops in as Caetano pushes up to 12. El Gadawi trying to steer her team, and off the ball foul. Al Shabrawi involved without a doubt. Call for the illegal screen.
Hala El Shaarawy just came on. Support everything that El Gadawi is doing inside the paint.
Pushed off, and there it is, winning the possession right back. That's why she's on the floor, gets into position, and is able to draw the foul out of the official.
Aliyah El Shaarawy just continues to be involved on offense and on defense here for Egypt. And of course, Sarah Caetano surprised by the call there. But Egypt, they'll stay focused and try and continue to see how they can extend their lead.
Inside to El Gadawi, she'll try right hand hook, call for the travel this time. They'll close off the left. That's probably the best strategy on the defensive end, to see if you can force El Gadawi to go to the less favored right.
Well, there it is, 7 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the last quarter.
Caetano. Correa. Drive in there was well guarded. Lusati gets the ball back, and Caetano will pick up two. They're trying to push this press to see if they can put some pressure back on Egypt.
Well, they needed that, the Angolans.
Shabrawi. Ingi's shot is pushed hard. Now, this is the opportunity for a run if they can get a score on this possession. Gisego. Correa. Angola looking for a shot from the outside. Caetano instead goes to the nail. Strong. Ball is picked up on the turnover. Caetano will gratefully accept the easy 2 points.
That is impressive, good energy there for Angola. Sarah Caetano just doing the damage here, and 2 points, there's no defense, and it's down to 16 points now, the difference.
A chance to build a run. El Gadawi spins left, takes the step, and that is, well, to school right there. That is schoolwork that needs to be done because that is just great offense.
Yeah, textbook footwork there. I know that you like to enjoy that cue inside the paint.
Every single part of that play with what they call not enjoyment. As you have a look, you see the work from El Gadawi as she steps through. And when it's done well, there's nothing more beautiful on the basketball court as Italy Lucas steps right in to see if she can impact the final 6 minutes and 10 seconds. It is blazing warm here in Abidjan, and the humidity factor, something that the players have got to adapt and accommodate to.
Yeah, Italy Lucas, of course, will try to bring some of that spark from the backcourt.
Farida Abdelnabi. El Gadawi. Shot fired a bit strong. Rebound is well picked up now. Musati, she wants the ball, not going to get it on this possession. Diseko will fire the three of her own. And inside there was good work. Al Sharawi. Badawi. Al Sharawi. Abdel Gawad, they had the opportunity to work. The matchup doesn't get the score. Diseko in transition, kicks out Lucas. Hooks the pass inside. Now work to be done. And the work instead sees Korea's shot go out of bounds.
Okay, you spoke about a scoring run. Angola have already found some 9 points here in the opening 5 minutes of the last quarter, which is just 2 more than they had in the entire third quarter. But with Caetano on the bench, Italy Lucas back on the floor, they need to find some rhythm.
Well, Lucas has had no rhythm in this one. Still scoreless in this contest. The ball gets tapped out by Captain Abdelnabi. Correa out. Antonio back in. And we'll get a timeout call with just perfect 5 minutes left. It's been Egypt who have been able to continue to build and keep the lead at around the 20-point mark. And right now, Coach Paulo Maquero, he's really got to find a key that can unlock the defense because nothing has worked the way that they wanted to. That there was a little bit of light, a ray of light when they were able to get that scoring run of just 4 points. And we'll get a chance to see if they're able to do that.
Yeah, and you can scan the card on your screen there. Court side 1891 to get all the action, the schedules, and all of the highlights from here in Abidjan. 28 bench points for Angola and 20 inside the paint. They've managed to find something that goes for them, and let's see if they can continue to build on that in these last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the bench outscoring the first 5. The way that they've been able to attack on the inside, Caetano has been impressive, but she will have to continue to play with the same poise and the same persistence with the final 5 minutes in this one. To the bench. 5 of 10 from the field. Sarah Caetano. Now the attack comes in from Peso, who's been resigned to the bench with 3 fouls, and her regression will be needed in this final 5 minutes. Already you see the value of aggression on the floor. Abdel Gawad just tying up the shoe real tight. I'm not sure if there is an injury there. Al Gadawi picking up the 3rd foul.
Well, it's always going to be very physical inside the paint for both of these teams, but Meral Abdel Gawad just being able to step on that leg, or maybe not.
So they tie her shoe up super tight, and now this is going to be a very big concern for Egypt because they are ahead. Abdel Gawad is the scoring leader with her 20 points, but this is a concern because the tournament timelines are tight, and that is not looking good for Meral Abdel Gawad.
Abdel Gawad has been involved in every aspect of this game, and it looks like she got injured.
Yeah, just
when there's contact with her teammate.
Just on the ground there, you look at the landing in that last shot, you could tell that she just did her ankle, and that is going to require some attention. And not a medical professional, so we will wait to hear what the outcome is of that. But you can tell, you can usually tell from a player when they are unable to put pressure on the injuries immediately after, is to try and gauge the nature or the seriousness thereof.
Yeah, Avelina Peso misses both of her shots. Must be the pressure because she was 2 for 2 earlier.
Peso with those misses, but now it is Egypt. El Gadawi will probably try to pick up some more of the offensive responsibility. Defense from Lucas, able to pitch that one and steal it right back for Angola. Lucas in space. Lucas finally finds the answer from the three-point line.
Great finish there from Lucas. She had some space to think about her shot, and she finally gets her first one after missing her first fall.
That's her first points in the tournament for Italy. Lucas stepped through from Al Gadawi, but the pivot foot moved, and so she is calling for challenge, but there's only one challenge allowed per game. And you look here, Italy Lucas, welcome to the game.
And no one was able to step up and play some defense there, but they fake from Di Zecco to find Italy Lucas on her right side, and the connection is just very timely.
There's still some time here for Angola. It's not all lost. Lucas around the screen with Peso. Again, tries one of those flashy hook passes. This one doesn't go anywhere.
And Angola needed to score on that possession to continue putting pressure here on Egypt, but continue to see treatment there for Meral Abdelgawad.
Dumilda Lusati out, back comes Sarah Caetano.
20 turnovers for Angola here in this game, 15 for Egypt. It's been a very intensely contested game.
Ahmed, no good on the hook shot. That one picked up and controlled by Peso on the defensive glass. Chance for Angola. Working it. Italy Lucas. Fakes. Antonio trying to work in the post with her own version of the footwork, and now on the miss is drawn into the foul. That's going to be the second team foul in Angola. Antonio pick up a third. In some trouble. There is some great work from Caetano. Pushes up, gets the steal, and gone to ground.
This is up to 18 points there, Sarah Caetano, as we see Farida Abdelnabi in pain.
Yeah, she got hit quite hard. He went right to ground. Frustration there from Abdelnabi. More contact. And now it's going to be the referees that have a look at the instant replay system. I think we're going to review the incident with Abdelnabi off the ball or the last foul call that just happened.
We are here to review malfunction of the clock, because the clock didn't start it with the first offense when we started from the end line. So at this moment, can you play normal speeds? So go back, please. Go back, please. I need another angle because the shot clock was starting, but the main clock no. So, okay, go back. Go back in the beginning of the offense again. Beginning, not go back. More. Okay, stop. stop now. I need another angle where I can see the clock also. This baseline camera.
Can you zoom in?
It's not visible. We have a clock camera. We have a clock camera. Easy. So, go back.
This and this.
I will go. So, the shot clock started. Wait.
Yeah, shot clock is going.
Show you both on the same.
Yeah. I'll put this also on this cam. Yeah. So on 18, so it was already 6 seconds past.
Yes.
Now shot.
So and on 12, now when there was reset, it started.
Yes.
So it's 6 seconds we are missing from the clock.
Yes.
So we stopped the game on 3:09. So we need to put on the main clock 3:03.
No. The clock that time it was 12. 12. 3:18.
Yes.
3:18.
No, 6 seconds passed. So one more time. So on 18,
Yes.
this was the change of position. So it's already 6 seconds past, right?
Yes. 3 seconds.
And now, when the
clock starts running,
so we are missing 6 seconds. So after the review, we correct the main clock to 3:03. Thank you.
Well, that is fascinating to watch, and I got the call absolutely wrong just before that, but the clock malfunctioned and we got taken through the steps, and so 6 seconds to be removed. And we are at 3:03 on the game clock. Angola, they are fighting their way back here.
Well, there's still some time on the clock. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go as Egypt have the ball. There's a bit of an interruption there in terms of rhythm for both of these teams, but let's see how they pick up.
Ahmed. Badawi driving in, that's cleared and blocked. And some good work there from Dzeko, outstretched arm to just deny the shot on the inside.
It is the awareness there from Dzeko to make sure that she has her hand on the ball and not to foul at this point in the game. Just 2 team fouls for Angola, 3 for Egypt.
Aliyah El-Shabrawi back in, needed. And you see the score line. Al-Gadawi, wow, time and space, and she makes it another important score.
Up to 15 points here for El-Gadawi.
3 ball from Lucas, so Lucas just inside rather. That's another 2, so 5 quick points for Italy. Lucas, who seems to have remembered that she's back here on the AfroBasket stage.
Yeah, she's found her mojo here, Italy. Lucas finally, albeit could be a little bit late.
Well, you never know with the kind of scoring and playmaking of Italy Lucas what can happen in the final 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Caetano. They find Lucas on the baseline behind the back. Lucas up. And there is another bit of magic from Italy Lucas, and she draws the foul.
And that is going to be very worrying there for Ranim El-Gadawi. And it goes to Farida Abdelnabi. 4 personal fouls for the captain of Egypt.
You see there on the replay coming in from the back, and now this is what big-time players do when their backs are against the wall and when the team needs them the most. They find ways to impact the game, and Italy Lucas scoreless throughout this one. 7 points here in the 4th and final quarter.
And that's very important here for Angola. Every point matters here. We've seen the structure of the competition, 3 teams in every group. And with that loss already for Egypt.
Lucas has changed their body language entirely. Lucas pulls up, rattles out, and Well, surely that one almost rattling in there. There's nerves start to develop here for fans in the crowd and Egyptian supporters. Italy Lucas has completely turned around her game. 95 seconds though. Try to run the same set. Lucas fakes. Lucas fires up. No. Rebound. Antonio. Find Lucas again. Lucas being tightly guarded. Oh no. Behind the back. Passed into the path of Captain Farida Abdelnabi, who will accept those 2 points graciously.
Well, that is a dagger there in the dreams of Angola, who thought that they could make a late comeback here.
Certainly had the makings of comeback, but there is Peso powering up and gambling just a little bit. That play from Lucas trying to go behind the back. Abdelnabi. Please look here as Peso gets inside.
Well, she comes alive here with her fast points outside of the free throw line, and she's up to 4. Can make it 5 with just 1 minute to play and make it a 10-point lead.
Since the injury to Abdel Gawad, it's been tough going for the Egyptians. And you understand the kind of value she brings for Egypt on the floor, but not only on the offensive side, on the other side as well. Peso misses. Now, well and truly in the interest of Egypt to take as much time off the clock as possible. Al-Shabrawi. Abdel Gawad to the trusty left. And that is 2 important points and superb under pressure scoring that has well and truly iced this one for Egypt.
Well, in the absence of El Gadawi over Abdel Gawad, El Gadawi has managed to just calm things down here for the Egyptians and contribute on offense.
Yeah, that score now by El Gadawi stepping up in the absence of Abdel Gawad.
She scored 11 points in this second half since that halftime break, and
Al-Shabrawi picking up an important 3 points, and now the result is no longer in question whatsoever.
Well, remember her name, Aliyah El-Shabrawi, up to 11 points here.
Lucas trying to get the highlight and close out here for Angola, but Egypt, they rescue the tournament with an important win. After going down to Cote d'Ivoire yesterday evening, it's Coach Julien Martinez being able to get his team aligned, and they pick up a win, 70-54 against Angola. And their record now improves to 1-1. The Angolans, they were slow out the gates, and it resonated throughout the contest, and sees them fall to their first defeat in AfroBasket 2025.
For our Queens will be very proud of that performance here today. They get that W at least, and they can sleep well knowing that they did and threw everything on the floor. But just really looking at their attitude, like you say, they came out of the gates really fighting the Egyptians, and they deserve this victory. This is a 2nd consecutive win in 2 straight women's AfroBasket tournaments for the Egyptians over Angola. But for Miral Abdel Gawad with her 20 points, got that injury there. It doesn't look good looking at the reaction on her face, and of course we wish her a quick recovery.
Yeah, well, they do have a breather. They will not be in action tomorrow, where the Egyptians, their play in the group is done. And for Angola, they have got some work to do. They come up against the hosts in the next encounter, and that's going to be tough going, because this arena, the Palais de Sport, will be packed up, and the noise level will be up in the decibels, and the ears will be left ringing when the home fans take to the floor out here.
It is just great to see the celebrations there. Aliyah continuing with the energy. El-Shabrawi with the coaching staff of the Egyptian team. They've really done all of the work that they needed to do to get that victory. Just this very young team that is missing 5 of their crucial players, including Cleopatra, aka of course Soraya Mohammed, who's out on maternity leave.
Yeah, well, it's a great moment here for the Pharaoh Queens as they pick up their first win in group play. They'll take that to the bank, especially after the disappointment of going down to the Côte d'Ivoire. But Asha, let's take a look at what happened statistically.
The 3 points here were the difference for the Egyptians. 7 3-pointers converted from 20 attempts, which explains that 16-point difference here. Actually 24-point difference, and the turnovers 21 for Angola, 11 for the Southern African team that really was a problem for them. Abdel Gawad with the 20 points leading all scorers, 18 for Caetano coming off the bench, 11 for Dzeko, who was the starter that made the difference here for Angola. But of course the evergreen El Gadawi Rahim with the 17 points, Captain Farida Abdel Nabi with the 11, and just beautifully done.
Well, it's been an eventful highlight-filled game, but let's have a look at some of the highlight plays in the fourth quarter. Their captain Farida working inside. Abdel Nabi's footwork a feature, and this certainly was my favorite play in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fake there to confuse Dzeko, and then the hook to make those 2 points was impressive. But Ranim El Gadawi just getting everything into the air and making it count for Egypt was one of the standout plays that we saw in the last quarter that made a difference for Egypt.
The rare flashes of brilliance from the Angolans as the shot there from Lusati on the exterior. One of her 2 makes from the 3-point line. She was perfect from the field, from the 3-point line. Angola, where they can look and try and build on was the ability to get out on the fast break. 24 fast break points. The bench outscored the starters today, and that will be a matter of concern, I believe, for Coach Marquedo, who's going to look at the lineup and try to figure out how they go against a very powerful Côte d'Ivoire team.
Yeah, 20 points for Angola in the last quarter compared to the 15 for Egypt. They outscored them there, but it was a little too late.
Well, this sums up what we've seen. Italy Lucas, a little bit too little, too late, and it brings us to a close. So this one is in the books. The victory goes to the Pharaoh Queens, and we have a look at what Egypt have done. They are at the top of the group now with their 1-1 record. Côte d'Ivoire, they still have to play against Angola, and then that will conclude the action in Group A. While we conclude our contribution to this one from Asha Komugisha and Quinton de Mason. We have another game coming up after this as Rwanda and Mozambique will take to the floor. But for now, it's cheerio.